Hello, everybody. This is CJ, and today we're going to be talking about relationships. Now, we're talking about social classes in relationships. So the big question is, should there be a social divide when it comes to relationships? There's always that talk. There's always that saying that love is blind. But the truth is, whether it's blind or it's not blind, and I know there's people that say yeah it is, some people say it's all about emotions and all that, but the truth is, before before it turns blind, you used to see. You got to see who you're trying to start dating, right? And whether it's gonna lead into something or not, at the beginning there's something that attracted you to the person. So the big question is, at that first beginning, at that very beginning, should social class come into play? Now, before we go any further, let's kind of weigh in on what this social class means. So, there's people in all walks of life, right? And everybody has a passion for what they're doing. Some people drop out of high school by choice. Some people, start college, never finish, so, college dropout, but, at the same time, they dropped out for a reason, for a purpose, maybe to pursue a different career. And there's the ones that go all the way through, a bachelor's degree, some, hit through the roof, master's, doctorate, and, there's all sorts of life. Now, there's some people that don't even bother going to school, because they believe in, maybe a different thing, a trade. They might go into apprenticeship with, with a company or with a particular handy worker. And that would be their thing. That's how we have like all these plumbers. Some are very good at what they do. Now, we get through all these, without too much digesting all these different walks of life. The question now becomes, should there be some social class barrier in dating? Would it make sense for a plumber to go and, start dating a medical doctor? Does it make sense for somebody in a, totally, high school dropout? Does it make sense for them to, try to be in a relationship with an engineer, or with a doctorate degree holder? So we're not necessarily talking money, but still, money plays a big role in every relationship. So we're not gonna dispute the fact that every particular career path could make you millions. We have plumbers that are doing so well, so well that many people that actually went through the whole 4-year career, the 4-year university, for one degree or another. So we want to be able to now say, if the money is there, does it really matter? And maybe it doesn't. Now, when money plays that role, which everybody knows, we need finances to survive. We do have people that will say, money doesn't matter, money is different from love, all that stuff. But the truth is, finances play a big part in any relationship. When the money is rolling, everybody is cool. Now, if you start having financial challenges, other things start coming into play. Is he a good person? He's caring, although there's no money, he's caring. And even with all of that, you could be caring as anything you want to be. If paying the rent becomes a problem, you start seeing there'll be frictions in that relationship. And whether you are living together, you are living apart, it doesn't matter. If one person gets into that financial bond and the other person cannot assist, it turns into some kind of friction that rolls into the relationship. So yeah, money will play a role in the long run, but in the beginning, is it okay for a taxi driver to go and marry a university lecturer? And vice versa. So this is not really gender. We're not just talking, men that are of lower marrying women we're talking both sides. So, it could be a medical doctor marrying a janitor. Now, we know that we do have men that really don't want their women to work. So it doesn't matter if she used to do whatever she used to do in the past. Once she comes into your life, or once you guys start a union together, and you don't want her to work anymore, because you believe you're making enough money. Granted. So definitely that happens, and it probably happens on both sides. But more frequently we see that with men that are already established, and they just want a woman that would either be a housewife, raise the kids, or just a woman that doesn't have to stress herself. And women love that too. I'm sure I love that. If you put me in a position where I don't have to work, and you just fund my lifestyle, of course, I love you for that. So, but the big question here is it okay? Is it okay for people of different social divides to come together and marry? If the money is not rolling in, do you think it would later become a problem? I believe there's been a lot of people that I know, because usually men marry ladies if it even gets to marriage, but they usually marry people that are younger than them when possible. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with marrying your age or somebody higher, but there's usually that mindset that okay, now I've got where I want to go before I get married, and okay, based on that, I should be able to find somebody that's compatible, and they start looking towards people that are younger, except if they've if they maybe grew up with somebody, or somebody that may be the same age, but of course maybe at the same level in life. So but we're not talking about those kind of relationships. We're talking about those relationships where the guy is probably starts off, he's already done, maybe he didn't even go to school, but now he's doing well, driving his taxi, his Uber, whatever the case may be, and there goes this young lady that is just graduating from school, maybe went to one good school or another, but she's now done with school, she's started off her career. We could just take, for this instance, in the medical field, might be a nurse, might be a doctor, whatever the case may be. But should men actually go for ladies that are in a different social class? Now, at the beginning of the relationship, of course, you're probably walking your Uber and you're earning money. She's not. She probably still in school, probably just done, probably don't even have a job yet. So at that point, it doesn't matter. But question now becomes, she's gonna let us start working. Would that divide be there? And I would like to get opinions on this. Maybe down the line, we'll be bringing people in, to say what they feel about any topic that we're bringing up. But for this case, I just feel like people should try to bridge that gap. People shouldn't marry way far away from their, social bind, from their social circle. And I'm not talking social in terms of, I'm talking it in terms of everything, knowledge based, people you can reason together with, people that have this kind of similar mindset. If you are not educated, you don't want somebody that, has a Princeton degree in psychology, because you guys might not be reasoning on the same level, right? And this is vice versa too. So either way works. When I'm not, shading or saying any particular, group of people do better than others. I mean, there's guys that have, accomplished, and they just want somebody so simple that it's like, really, how did you end up with her? I mean, was this by choice? Did you get her pregnant and then you have to marry her? So questions start coming up, and it might be judgmental. And I've seen cases where people are like, don't talk about her like that. But down the line, issues might still come up, might not come up. But as always, they keep saying love is blind, and it keeps coming back to me. Love is blind, love is blind. Yeah. If they like each other, then why not? So here's my take on this. I think it's perfectly okay for any, of course, with limitations. I think it's okay if you like somebody, go for the person. It doesn't matter what they did or what they are doing, or which social class they're in. But you just have to keep that in mind from the get-go, that there might have to be some adjustments that you need to make. You cannot get married to an illiterate and expect miracles when it comes to her being knowledgeable on certain areas of life. You can now automatically expect her to know how to teach the kids stuff, because you gotta be able to understand her limitations from the beginning. I also think that it's necessary, first and foremost, it's necessary to come out with what you do. So if you're a taxi driver, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a taxi driver, but definitely I'll pick being a medical doctor. I'm not a medical doctor, but so there's careers that you'll be like, okay, wow, cool, right? And there's others that will be like, okay, yeah, well, I'm glad you're doing something, right? So it's not shading. I'm not shading anybody here, or any career, or any work path. I'm just using taxi driving because it's one of those jobs that just require you to know how to drive, right? And and of course, people get good at it, people get comfortable. Some people started as a stepping stone and now decide to just stay there because they love the job, they love the independence. There's nothing better than independence, right? When you're walking, you don't have somebody looking over your shoulders. So that by itself is also cool, right? So that being said, we now have to, we're now looking at the other section where I'm talking about, you should let the person know what you do. If you are driving taxi for a living, just let them know up front, right? Let them know that this is what you do, and it's not a stepping stone for you. Of course, if something comes up down the line, you're fine with it, but it's not like a stepping stone. You're not just doing this for a year or two and now you switch. So, everybody comes into relationship understanding exactly, this is what my man does, or this is what my woman does, and I'm cool with it, right? So it doesn't become an issue later. Now, I've still seen situations that it still ended up becoming an issue when the finances, start running dry. Now, this is not peculiar to anything. When finances go down, any relationship can suffer. It doesn't matter if two of you are, both presidents of the country or whatnot. Presidents don't even make enough money. But like I'm just trying to say that finances, is big, so we can use it as a yardstick to say, these two people cannot be together. But just let the person know what you do. In that way, they are fully aware of what they're getting into. It wouldn't come as a shock down the line. Oh, you told me you work in an oil company, yet all you do is drive trucks for them. We've had situations like that where somebody says that they're working in an oil company. It's really cool. It's the partner is excited. They're working in an oil company, only to later find out that he's just driving trucks. So it's and it's not really a good thing while you're now in a relationship to find out that the person totally lied about their career or how they make their money. Now, if you tell the person and they, oh no, I can't deal with this, then better for you. It's actually better that you guys don't go through the rigmaroles of I can't deal with somebody that does this work or whatnot. So that's my take on this. Now, there's definitely a lot of other things that could be put into play when you're considering this. So at the end of the day, the whole idea is for couples to totally understand what they're getting into, who they're getting into it with. Hey, if you're one of those people that want him to even have a good credit, if you're one of those people that really want him to also have a good this, a good that, already set up, don't have any student loans, or maybe didn't use student loans for school, or maybe you're one of those that just want somebody that's coming into the relationship without any baggage. Hey, it's definitely something that you two should discuss up front, and that way there's no surprises down the line. Now, there's a lot of things that could come up in relationships, right? And down the line we're going to be talking about some other instances, some other things that people encounter. But for today, we're just on the social class and how it affects every other thing once the relationship kicks off. So that's it, guys, for today. I hope I brought some value. If I did, I'll appreciate it if you like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell so you continue getting contents of this nature. Guys, relationships are tough. That's for sure. Relationships are tough. There's always one person that's, would I say, doing less than the other. They might still be doing their best, but it's less than the other. So, definitely, there should be room for, total understanding. There should be that upfront transparency in terms of, what you guys are bringing to the table. And yes, everybody should bring something to the table. Gone are the days when, you should expect only one person to do that. Now, we're not even talking about that because, there's guys that don't even want you to work. And there's females, I don't know. Are there females that don't even want a guy to work? I don't know. But I don't think so. I've not come across any female that's like, oh, I just want a stay-at-home husband, that'll take care of, our kids or something like that. I've not heard that. I'm used to yours being ours and mine being mine, that's what I'm used to. But maybe I'm only seeing one side of the fence. There's of course multiple sides of the fence. So another thing that I think we also have to address when it comes to this is something that we see a lot often with maybe men, more frequent than is with women. When they start a relationship with somebody, they might know what they're doing going into that relationship, but all of a sudden, they want you to stop. They want you to stop what you're doing. They don't want you to continue whatever it is that they knew you were doing up front, but we're okay with it then, no longer okay with it now. It now becomes that question of is it okay? Is it okay for your partner to want you to stop what you're doing? Um, Especially if it's something they knew you were doing at the beginning of the relationship. Uh, if it's something like a passion they know you had, you planned on doing this, and when you guys now start dating or get married and they no longer want that, they feel like, no, this is beneath you, or this is not something that she wants her her man or her woman to be engaged in. So the question is it actually right for partners to want you know their partner to stop whatever career path or whatever work that they are doing? Is it okay, although you knew they were doing it before you got into that relationship? And of course, there's a lot of things that could be said for this. Some people will just say, it depends on what they were doing. Of course, if they were doing certain things that are, not morally right, of course, you should want them to stop it. And we're not gonna be talking about the nasties of, people's doings. We're not gonna be talking about those. Well, I don't want us to get into yeah. If what if they were in prostitution, or what if the guy was a bank robber? Come on. Those ones we already know are legally bad. I don't know about prostitution. I'm just saying like with like certain things like robbing people, for instance, that's we know is bad, legally, morally, on all terms. So those, of course, if that's what they did, and you still got into a relationship with them, but they said they're not doing it anymore, that's different. They already said they've stopped. But the question is, you knew that's what they did, they do, you got into it with them, and now you want them to stop. It could be something that they love. I'm talking like, I know people that used to be like artists. They can draw anything, and if it looks so real. But of course he might not be making as much money, right? So when they get into a relationship, it now turns into this thing of this thing you're doing is not making any money. You need to go and find a better job, or you need to go and start doing something else, and of course start derailing you from, it could be a passion that you have, or it could just be something that you're trying to build yourself into, a long time dream, and you're trying to get there. So there's of course room for things that are the unwanted. So we don't want somebody that's robbing a bank for a living, and then you get into a relationship, and you can, of course, they have to stop it. They're not even supposed to be doing it in the first place. So we're not talking about those. We're just talking about those things that are like passionate. I've known people that are like hairdressers, and they're very good at it, and when they now start this relationship, all of a sudden the guy doesn't like that's what they do. They want them to be doing something more professional, or something less service related. I've seen people that are, driving taxis. The girl knew that's what she was doing, and all of a sudden now, she doesn't like it anymore. She now wants him to stop. Don't care that he has his independence going when he's doing it. Don't care that he's happy that he's doing that kind of job. All she knows is that no, I don't want my man driving a taxi for a living, and because of that, you gotta stop. So those kind of things. There are issues that are constantly plaguing relationships, right? And you know, when it starts, you always believe there's gonna be some kind of resolution. Oh, this person that's telling you to stop, very soon they'll understand it's like a passion that you can't really stop, that this is what you love to do. You love, drawing, fine art, you love photography, and this is you. It might not be making in, 10 grand or 5 grand a year, but, you love it and you're okay with whatever little money it's bringing because you're looking into the future, right? So is it okay for them to tell you no, stop, don't, you can't do this again, I'm done, we're done with this your job, you gotta quit, go and look for something else, go and be a secretary somewhere. Oh no, go and oh yeah, you studied this, why don't you just go and start practicing that? So there's definitely different ways to look at this, right? But the truth is, if you meet somebody doing something and you feel like you have a problem with what they're doing, most definitely it's something that you should discuss at the beginning. See, even if that person is open to changing, right? Don't smile about it and be okay about it at that time because you still just trying to be Mr. Nice Guy or be Mr. Nice Girl, and you are not, you don't want to discuss that now, or you don't even know where you guys are going, because that could be an argument. Oh, at the beginning I didn't know I was gonna get serious with him, or I was gonna get serious with her, so I didn't mind that he was doing whatever he was doing. But now we are married, or we are now a couple, we are now an item, and hey, all of a sudden he gotta stop, or she gotta quit. She gotta quit this place. If they used to do whatever they used to do and you're okay with it going into that relationship, you should stay okay with it. You should stay okay with it. Support them the way you probably supported them at the beginning when you were faking it. Could I say that? Could I say when you were faking it? Because if you knew you didn't like it but you were still playing cool with it, that means you were faking at that time, right? So should you with your full chest, just accept it? Yes, you should, because you accepted it then. If you don't want to accept it upfront, tell them, hey, I like you, but I don't want to, I don't want my man, doing this, for a living. So is this something you're open to changing? Could we like walk towards a different path? Is that, maybe I know you love photography, but geez, I don't know if money comes from this. So are you open to doing something else? And this could go past being about what they do. It could be about their looks. Hey, he has a beard now. I don't really like beard guys, but it's just bad. Maybe he will change it later. And then you play cool with it at the beginning, and then later on down the line, you're like, you gotta shave this off. I can't take this anymore. You gotta shave it off. That's now when you guys are now an item. You will now start bringing it up. It will now become a new issue. So something like that shouldn't be happening. I know some ladies love people that are rugged looking, and some don't. I've never got the whole rugged look thing, the rasta, and I know I see some people that clean up nice, even though they have that, but growing up, I've always seen that to be sort of something that people, we used to call it dada. Is like, it's like a thing where your hair kind of, grows up twisted and tangly, and it's difficult to brush from the get go. So it's difficult to comb from the get go. So, it starts tangling and it stays tangling, and people just know you as the tangled hair person. And, it's what it is at that time. People get to a stage where they now cut it off. Some people don't. Now, now it's kind of became a thing, right? Some people that are, regular hair might turn into rasta, and rasta is cool. Like, I swear, I've seen I've seen people clean up nice, nice calves, although it's still, you know starched up and twisted and all that, but they clean up nice after it, and it's a look. Some people don't even bother cleaning up, but they still love the way they are. Rugged look, right? And I think rugged look is a thing. I don't know about the hair, but I don't mind rugged bear looks, so um, but if you like the person like that, when you first meet them, then don't come and try to change them later. Don't come and try to change them later. You know what? I used to love this your rugged look, but now I'm no longer cool with it. You gotta shave it off, or you gotta start cleaning up better, or you no longer fit what I want us to be. And it works both ways. It works both with guys, with girls. When it comes to girls, I know some people shave their legs, shave armpits, shave everywhere, and it's cool, so there's clean no hairs on, even legs. Some people are like that. They shave everywhere. And some don't, right? Both of them, it's what it is. There's the people that shave clean everywhere besides just the armpit like legs, and some people don't, and if you're starting a relationship and you're okay with them not shaving, then you shouldn't force them to start shaving later down the line. If shaving is a thing for you when you first meet them, you should bring it up. Like, hey babe, look, I love you, but can you start using the Nevada hair remover, or could you start can I buy some blades so you shave while you're taking a shower, and see if they're open to these things, because they say the most part is communication. Communication is it's a good thing. So I feel like this is also something that they should be able to talk about. I feel like it's something that shouldn't be a hush hush at the beginning, only for it to turn into a problem down the line. So that's what I really think about this. So if you're getting into something, and with your full chest, you don't love what the person does, or you don't love how the person presents themselves, in terms of their looks or in terms of their dressing. With girls, there's some girls that love wearing short skirts, and it's their thing, right? And probably you saw it and you loved it when you even first met her, but all of a sudden now you feel like, she's showing off too much. After you guys are now in a relationship, and you didn't tell her then, now all of a sudden you got problems with how short her skirt is, but you were not at the beginning. So for sure, I feel like these are things that should be discussed. These are things that you should let them know before you even get go. Don't be going for the other thing, at the beginning, and now that you got it, or you don't want any other person to be seeing you dressing like that. Talk about it up front. See if it's something they're willing to adjust to. Are they willing to stop doing this work? Are they willing to change their looks? Are they willing to stop dressing a certain way? Oh, look, I like guys that, suit up all the time. Are you okay with this? And the whatnots. I used to work at somewhere where I had to wear suits, and at the beginning I felt like it was cool. It was cool. It's cool. Every day you suit up, you go in. Uh, but after a while, you get tired of it, right? And then you don't want to wear suits anymore, for instance. And or maybe uh, you feel like, okay, there's a casual, kick to the suit that you can put it on with a t-shirt instead of like a tied up, buttoned up and suited up. So it's a thing. People evolve, people graduate, people but at the end of the day, it is, if it was you, there's a big chance that it will continue being you. So if you never minded how they did something at the beginning, you should try to stay cool with it or tell them up front before you guys get serious. Look, there's a lot of headaches as it is in relationships, because these are two people coming together. But definitely the one thing that you don't need is the added stress of, or added pressure of, having to force somebody to change, or having to insist. Because what happens with these is you start picking a problem with it. Of course, they pick a problem with the fact that you are picking a problem, and it starts going downhill from there. There's this saying that if you do what you did at the beginning of the relationship, there wouldn't be any end. And quite frankly, I think that's true. However crazy that sounds, but I think that's true, right? But it's what it is, right? It's what it is. So, guys, if you found value in this, definitely please like, follow, subscribe, share, all the notions, right? So we can get this in front of the algorithm and get other people to also see it. All right, so another similar thing that we also have to look into here is the third aspect. Now, this has to do with behavioral issues, right? And for this, we're talking about things like they smoke a lot, they drink a lot, they go partying a lot, these are things that people are already set in their ways before you come in. If they're like a outgoing person, they can't wait till Thursday they're out. They don't even wait for Saturdays. They start kicking it from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? And and of course it could be frustrating if that's not you. Now, there's also the introverts, the people that don't really go anywhere. They don't want to go anywhere. They don't even want to dress up for nothing, right? They come in, they squish into their bed, or they relax into the couch, and that's it for them. So these are all behavioral in nature, and the question now becomes, you meet them like this, that's who they are at the beginning, and all of a sudden, when you guys are now into the relationship, you have a problem. You have a problem with that they now smoke, or you have a problem that hey, this person now they go out too much. They're always partying. They always hanging out with friends. They're never at home. Yeah, there's things that you should adjust. I believe 100% that you should be able to make provision for, when you now come into a relationship. If you're a person that always goes clubbing, and all of a sudden now, you're in this serious relationship with somebody, yeah, you should make provision for the person. You should, accommodate their presence, right? So that's definitely something that should be factored in somehow. But I don't believe that there should be that expectation for the partner to totally flip out that, hey, look, this is it. You can't go out anymore. You can't go to clubs anymore. You can't do this anymore. Hey, you're not in a relationship, so you gotta cut all that stuff out, right? Because it starts bringing friction right away. You knew they used to do this, and it's a problem. We do have people that have something like people that go to play soccer, like going to outdoor sports, and it's a thing for them. And all of a sudden, the other partner that knew this was a thing, now has a problem with it. And there's of course a lot of justifications. Yeah, you can just be selfish about your time and just be doing things for yourself, by yourself, with yourself, and not factoring in your partner. But the bottom line is that partner knew about that at the beginning. They did with their full chest. They knew that this was what you do. They probably at that time were coming out to visit you wherever you are, and be part of what you're doing, and it was a thing at that time, right? But all of a sudden now the relationship kicks off. It's got serious. There's commitments that come in, and all of a sudden they have a problem with it. They don't want to come out there. They don't even want you to go, right? So these kind of things are things that shouldn't be happening, because at the end of the day, it does affect the relationship, especially when now if this is something that you can't deal with. For instance, you meet somebody and they're into clubbing, they're religiously into clubbing, and it's a problem. It should be a discussion that comes up at the beginning, right? You guys should discuss it. Is it something that she's or he's willing to change? Is it something that if he does this less of it, would it work for you? If he doesn't stop altogether, would that be a problem? And you guys get that whole mindset aligned, because that's what this is about. A relationship is getting to that aligned mindset. Know what you can do and what you can do, and what your partner is okay with and what they're not okay with, right? Because nobody's perfect, right? But at the same time, you don't want to deprive somebody of their happiness, of their fun, because you want them to be a certain way, and it's actually worse when you guys are like totally of different mindsets. So there should be an alignment somewhere. If you're not a club person, and they used to do 4 days of clubbing, Thursday through Sunday, and now you come into their life, would you be okay with them doing 2? Would you be okay if they're doing 4, you gotta go with them on some of the occasions? If you're okay with them just doing their thing, just come back at a certain time, something like that. Discuss, align, and be on the same page. But don't be okay with it at the beginning. Don't just ignore it at the beginning, because maybe you're really looking for, you really like this guy for all these other features, so I'ma ignore this one for now. Don't do that, because once you ignore it for now, it means you're okay with it. And being okay with it, it goes all the way, because at the end of the day, when you guys now become an item, they're not gonna stop for you, unless probably there's like a legit reason for them to stop. They're not gonna stop what they're doing, because that's also their life. Yeah, you are now in their life, but that was their life. And truth is that you just came in. You're a newcomer. This life has been him for a while, or her for a while. So you guys got to discuss this up front, come to that, amicable conclusion as to, when and how you guys can compromise. And this helps both parties, totally be in alignment. I have seen situations where at the beginning, the lady left it alone, She felt like I I really need to get married, so let me just not even care about all these things. Yeah, he looks like a good man. He's doing this. He's working. He's is providing for me or whatnot. And then, once you now come in, or once, it gets serious, then all of a sudden, you don't want him to be doing that anymore. You hate that he now drinks, you hate. Guys, talk about these things, talk about these things up front. Love is not blind. Excuse my language. Love is not blind. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's blind, but geez, it could see. It could see in the middle of the blindness. You gotta be able to see. Because that's how you saw you love that dude or that girl in the first place. That's how you're able to be like, dang, like, geez, I like her. So you saw something. So it's not blind, dude. It's not blind. But I still love the saying, love is blind. What was that? Eve that used that sang that long time ago. I used to love that song. Yeah, so guys, but hey, this these relationships, people put a lot into it. People put a lot, and the least that both parties could do is be upfront. Be upfront about what you do. Be upfront about what you like, what you expect from the person, what you cannot take. Be upfront about what you're willing to compromise on. Be open about all these things, cause there's no need vesting all this time into somebody or into something, a relationship that's just gonna turn into headaches, arguments, quarrels, people frowning, people not happy, in the relationship. There's no point to it. We only have one life to live, right? And for the most part, we've already gone through half of it, so you should at least find peace in the remaining half. Love what you do. If you love the person, love them for them. Don't try to change them. If they're open to change, which is a discussion you should have at the beginning, help them do that. Help them make that change. Be supportive as that change is happening. Don't be demanding. You didn't create this person. You're not their God. So don't demand stuff. Don't assume that they know better so that they would stop it down the line. Don't make that assumption either, because there's a lot of that going around. Oh yeah, he should have known that. Yeah, who does this for the rest of their lives? You gotta stop at some age. No, they don't have to stop. If it's them, it's them. If they are cool with the rugged look, they're cool with the rugged look. They're not gonna change for you. And if they decide to change, let that be something that you guys talk about at the beginning, and know that they're open to it. Now keep in mind, being open to it doesn't mean they're gonna do it. So you also have to keep that open mind, that okay, yeah, he's open to it, but I might still have to live with him like this. Might still have to live with that rugged look, however it is. I might have to live with the fact that this guy loves painting or photography, and that's the only thing he's willing to do. Yeah, okay, yeah, he might agree to maybe try to see if he can find a job. But if he looks for that job and he doesn't see something that his heart accepts, he might continue doing his photography. Pictures scattered all over the house, taking pictures of things that you wonder, abstract. Hey, these photographers, they see things that I don't even see. I see some pictures and be like, okay, what's in the picture again? I've seen something like that, but then somebody else will see it and be like, "Wow, amazing!" Maybe it's like the sunset. I don't know what that is. Sunset. Yeah. Those kind of things don't move me. Hey, if I was there, and watching it with somebody, maybe it would be better. But just to see a picture of sunset, but it's a thing, right? And I've seen people that cop serious problems with their partners for doing what they're passionate about. So work with them, don't work against them, don't assume that they will change because in your mind it's not a permanent thing. Do not assume that because you don't like it that they would now decide to stop doing it. If you're okay with it at the beginning, get that mindset. Open it up to be able to be okay with it all through the relationship. And support them for who they are, right? Because that's who you met. You met who you met. You didn't meet them in a dream form. You met them in that reality of them. So be okay with it. And if you're not okay with it, talk about it at the beginning. Move your own ways at the beginning. Don't waste so much time, investing in this person or in this on the relationship if you already know going into it you have problems, with something about them. Don't waste your time. Life is too precious and life is too short, to live it with, uncertainties, unhappiness, full of regrets. Come on, just move on. There's how many billion people are there in the world again now? And I'm not saying you're gonna come across all the, if it's like, was this like 7 billion or 8 billion, maybe 9 billion now? Probably it's even got up to 10. People are, you bet every day. But I'm just saying, like, there's other people in the world that probably will be exactly what you want. You might not see them in your lifetime, but geez. But at least they're out there, right? I know somebody that started that went and started got on this dating site, right? And of course people get on dating sites because they feel like they'll see people that align with their interest or align with what they want, and it's funny how you see a lot of people going there listing, oh, I want this, I want this, I want that, I want that. Okay, granted, and you have the right to want what you want, right? But I've never seen them in that same token, right? Okay, I'm bringing this to the table, I'm bringing this, I'm bringing this, I'm bringing this. How come dating sites don't do that? How come they don't make sure people also like what they're bringing to the table? They always want what you want. Okay, no, I want a man that's this. So, okay, I want that. So maybe that's something that happens after. But being in being able to compromise, being able to understand that nobody is perfect and people come as they come, and changing people might not be as easy as you seem. They could even agree to a change and later on realize that change is not working for them, and flip back to what they used to be. So you have to keep that open mind that, yeah, although this guy might be agreeing to change, oh yeah, although this girl is saying that she wouldn't do this again, but there's a big chance she might continue doing it. Maybe she will try to leave it, but it wouldn't work. So you got to keep a open mind going into it, and what you're willing to accept and what you're willing to just walk away from the get-go. Walk, guys, walk. Ladies, if you don't like something about him, walk. Don't hang in there for the other things that you like, knowing there's this one thing that you can't tolerate. You know, he can have 10 attributes. You know, if 9 of them are okay and you are willing to keep an open mind and leave the other 10, or 7 of them are fine and the other 3 are iffy, you know, and you are open to keeping an open mind and allowing it to be, then allow it to be. You know, don't say that, okay, I'll take him for these 7 things, and then, you know, these 3 I'll get him to change later. You know, you already know is a no for you, so getting him to change might not be as easy as you are saying it. And even if he agrees at the beginning, there's a big chance he might change his mind again, because that would not be him. So that's just my take on these things. You know, we are gonna be getting into a lot more topics about relationships and you know, the what's and the whatnots of it, and you know, but in the meantime, if you love this segment, if you loved what we discussed here, please like, follow, subscribe, you know, share, recommend, you know, let's help the algorithm get this out. And it's, you know, it's been a pleasure discussing this with you guys, and, you know, see you guys on the next episode. Peace.